the march. Jonathan Keller is the president and CEO of California Family Council. Jonathan is also one of our amazing state march partners in California, who we've been partnered with for 3 years now. Under Jonathan's leadership, CFC pursues a mission of advancing God's design for life, family, and liberty through California's church, capital, and culture. Alongside local, state, and national allies, Jonathan guides CFC in shaping policies that promote the sanctity of life, the strength of marriages and families, and the necessity of religious freedom. Before leading CFC, Jonathan began his career serving on staff with Right to Life of Central California. He also supported Lila Rose in launching Live Action. His strong academic foundation from Fresno Pacific University has shaped his professional journey and commitment to ethical leadership. Jonathan and his wife live in Central California with their 2 sons. She is a saint. She's a lovely woman. Where they're active members of Campus Bible Church. Welcome, Jonathan. We're so happy to have you here today.
Well, I just want to say that line about my wife being a saint is not in my official bio, but Felicia said it because it is true. So my wife, Julia, is wonderful. So it's great to be with all of you today. And I have just a few short minutes to share with you very briefly about some of the things that are happening in California and how that affects all of you in the rest of the country. Unfortunately, I know some of you may not care about Gavin Newsom, but I can assure you Gavin Newsom cares about you. And that is something we see on a regular basis, what he is pushing and some of the things you'll see in the slideshow. If you have not heard about it, I think it is a scary reality, the level of national ambition he has and the way that what he is doing is being exported to all of the rest of the country, even states that the rest of y'all are doing a wonderful job of turning more and more pro-life. But at the very beginning of this, I know we talked about this already. I just wanted to pause. Do any of you ever get upset? Any parents in the room? Just ask that first. Any of you ever get upset when you do something for your kids and then they're just like on to the next thing and they never say thank you? Does this ever happen occasionally? The reason I put that slide up there of the Roe v. Wade being overturned is that I just think it's important for us to pause and remember, here we are getting ready to march on the 51st anniversary of Roe versus Wade, and it's gone. We have a lot of challenges, we have a lot of difficulties, but I never, ever want us to lose sight of the gratitude and the thankfulness to Almighty God for the gift that he's given us with that. So very quickly, we heard earlier that there is an important, sad trend of legislation happening all across the country. And there's also ballot initiatives happening all across the country. In California in 2022, in the immediate aftermath of Dobbs, we saw Proposition 1, our version of the state constitutional amendment, pass. Tragically, this passed by a vote of 66 to 33. It was a 2-to-1 margin in the state of California. The remarkable thing to me about this, and this is a warning for the rest of you, I know there's a more recent example of this with what we saw happen just in Ohio a few months ago. But in California, during this same election season, abortion on demand got 66% of the vote. Gavin Newsom only got 59% of the vote. That means there were thousands, hundreds of thousands of non-Democrats. I won't say necessarily Republicans, I won't necessarily say conservatives, but there were people out there who did not like Gavin Newsom, who were not on board with some of his other policies, but they flipped their ballot over after voting for the Republican candidate for governor, and they voted for unlimited abortion on demand in the state of California. That is a huge challenge that our movement is going to face, and it's a reason why pregnancy centers, sadly, are facing so many attacks. It's because the good work that they are doing is not known by even people that are supposedly on our side of the aisle. There is in California a group, I want to play for you just an example of the template that California is trying to export to the rest of the nation. Some of you may have heard of this group called the Future of Abortion Council. If not, I'm just going to let them explain to you in their own words who they are and what they do. This is not a video I put together. This is their video that they put together as a promotional piece on their website.
The Future of Abortion Council, made up of state legislators and pro-abortion organizations, presented its list of recommendations.
Forward to doing more and doing better as a state to truly stand tall as that reproductive freedom state that we have so proudly defined.
Before I was a legislator, I worked and provided critical services to women at a women's reproductive health clinic.
We want to make sure that we level the playing field and make abortion access within reach for anyone who's seeking services.
Las mujeres latinas necesitamos el derecho al aborto porque no tenemos los recursos, porque tenemos otros hijos, porque queremos superarnos económicamente y físicamente.
Today, we released 45 recommendations for what the state of California can do to ensure that we remain a reproductive freedom state and we ensure that access to abortion is something that we expand and preserve for anyone that's seeking care.
Hope that all folks who are trying to access abortion care across the country know that they have a friend and a supporter in California.
26 states are predicted to reverse their abortion bans if the Supreme Court hands the decision-making process back down to the states.
This can be life-saving medical care, and I think we have a responsibility to provide that.
This is the state-funded, state-promoted abortion initiative by the largest state in the United States. Our taxpayer dollars are going to not just support women through services, but they're actually trying to directly kill children, and they're trying to put together glossy videos, this broad-based coalition of people who are going to fight on this issue. So a couple of more slides. I'm going to try to get through this quickly. One of the ways that they've been doing this is through things like this website. There is now an abortion.ca.gov website that is being marketed all across the country. I want to point out there's not a pregnancy.ca.gov. There's not even a healthcare.ca.gov. The top level domain that our state has chosen to advertise and market is abortion.ca.gov. And our governor and our legislature is very happy to offer a very particular kind of reproductive health care to any woman in the United States that wants to get it. Not prenatal care. If you are from Alabama, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, you can't fly to California and get state-funded prenatal care. You can't fly here and get critical perinatal surgeries for children that are early in their life. But if you want to come to the state of California and have an abortion, California is happy to pay for that. Through one of the services that we're offering, California has started to put up billboards. In fact, this was during the 2022 governor's campaign. Governor Gavin Newsom put up billboards across the nation. You can see at the bottom, it says paid for by Newsom for California Governor 2022. Gavin Newsom put up these billboards all around the country telling people you can come to California, go to this website, abortion.ca.gov. California not only will give you a free abortion when you get here, but through state-funded grants to so-called abortion benevolence funds, California will actually cover your flights, your hotel room, your Uber drive to and from the airport and to and from the clinic. This is in the actual text of the legislation, if you can believe it. Maybe the most perverse thing that California offers to cover when you come to California to get an abortion is childcare. So if you come to California with one of your born children to take the life of their younger sibling, California will help pay for that. Gavin Newsom, though, as I mentioned, he knows his audience. He knows if he's going to talk to different audiences around the country, and California, if he wants to go to your states where you've been doing amazing pro-life work to try to support pregnancy resource centers, you've been marching for life, maybe you have a state march, he knows that he has to target people using language that appeals to them. So look at what he did with this billboard in a southern state. Need an abortion, California's ready to help. Visit abortion.ca.gov to learn more. But then notice at the bottom, that's basically where I was too. Gavin Newsom actually, his campaign actually quoted the words of Jesus and saying it is loving your neighbor to offer her free abortion health care, quote unquote. So this short video is what we did as a response on this issue.
I'm proud to be able to put those billboards up, proud to be in a position to be able to afford it and do so through the campaign. Our donors are asking for more of that. They believe in women's freedom and right to choose.
So I want to tell you, I want to bring you hope from the most pro-abortion crazy state in the nation, that there is still hope. I am not always optimistic, but I am always hopeful because we serve a God of hope. And I want to tell you very quickly, teeing off our friends from ADF, just a quick slideshow on positive things. Over the last year, we have seen, these are some of the great headlines that we saw last year in response to some of our work defending pregnancy centers. California is a haven for reproductive rights, but anti-abortion crisis pregnancy centers still thrive. And I love this headline from the LA Times. Even in California, anti-abortion crisis pregnancy centers seem to be untouchable. Now, that is because largely, this is a press conference that we did down in front of a pregnancy center in Santa Clarita. This is largely because of the work of our friends at ADF and other wonderful friends. Last year, California had to pay $192,000 to ADF to settle a case in which they had tried to regulate protesting outside of pro-abortion centers like Planned Parenthood. My friends at Right to Life Central California won that case alongside ADF, so thank you, ADF, for that. And I want to just say that the work that pregnancy centers are doing, it is absolutely the most important thing that can happen moving forward, because even in deep blue states like California, even in deep blue states like where you're at, the reason that Gavin Newsom and other pro-abortion ideologues are trying so hard to silence your work, if you work at a pregnancy center, if you pray outside for 40 Days for Life, the reason they're doing it is because they know it's effective. They can have all the marketing campaigns, they can have all the websites, they can have all the funding, and they know that our God is still stronger. So I want to encourage you, all the pregnancy centers out there, continue what you're doing, never lose heart, and God bless you.